If you're over 60, every bite you take, every habit you follow, and every food you believe is healthy can have a direct impact on your heart. But what if I told you that some of the vegetables you eat daily, yes, vegetables, could slow? As a heart doctor, I've seen this happen far too often. Seniors come into my clinic thinking they're doing everything right, eating greens, cutting sugar, avoiding fried food. But what they don't realize is that certain vegetables, when eaten the wrong way or combined with medications, can quietly push their heart toward failure. Some raise your blood pressure, others interfere with life-saving medications, and some even carry bacteria that your body, at this age, may no longer be strong enough to fight. In this video, I'm begging seniors to stop eating these 5 vegetables, or at least change how they're prepared. I'll walk you through each one, explain why it's risky, and show you safe, heart-friendly alternatives. The good news, these risks are avoidable. You just need to know what to look for and what to avoid. So please, stay with me. Because the first vegetable on this list might already be in your fridge right now. Before we dive in, if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you hit that button and turn on the bell so you never miss another health tip made just for you. If you enjoy this video, type 1 in the comments. If not, type 0 to let me know how I can make better content for you. 1. Spinach. When heart medicine becomes powerless. Spinach, a leafy green that we've long been told is a superfood, and for many people it is. But what if I told you that for seniors over 60, especially those on heart medications, spinach can silently be turning into a serious health hazard? As a heart surgeon, I've seen far too many patients who believe they're eating healthy, only to discover their clean diet is interfering with life-saving treatment. Spinach is loaded with vitamin K, a nutrient crucial for blood clotting. But here's the danger. For those taking blood thinners like warfarin, commonly prescribed after a heart attack, stroke, or in cases of atrial fibrillation, too much vitamin K can undo the very protection that medication provides. It thickens the blood. It counteracts the drug's effects. And worst of all, most seniors have no idea this interaction is even happening. You feel fine. You think your medication is working, but quietly, in the background, your body is losing its defense against a deadly blood clot. I've treated patients who suffered mini strokes or dangerous clots, all because they started adding spinach smoothies or large salads to their daily meals, without realizing the impact. Spinach isn't the enemy, but inconsistency is. If you're going to eat it, do so in moderation and consistency. And always inform your doctor, especially when you're making dietary changes. What you eat can either strengthen your medicine or sabotage it. The truth is, not every vegetable is heart healthy for every senior, and some can do more damage than a plate of fries if you're not paying attention. So if spinach can quietly overpower a prescription, what other harmless vegetables might be stirring up hidden dangers in your bloodstream? Let's talk about the next one. A common favorite hiding in your fridge right now, yet filled with more salt than a bag of chips. If you're still watching and finding these insights helpful, please comment number 1 below to let me know you're with me. Now let's move on to point number 2. 2. Pickled cucumbers. The salty trap that's tightening around your heart. They're crisp, tangy, and often the perfect side to a sandwich. Pickled cucumbers, or pickles, feel harmless, even refreshing. But for seniors over 60, especially those with a history of high blood pressure or heart issues, this innocent snack may be doing more damage than you realize. Most people don't think twice about a few slices of pickle. But the truth is, those tiny green bites are soaked in brine, packed with sodium, sometimes more than 1,000 milligrams per serving. That's two-thirds of the daily salt limit recommended for older adults in just a handful of pickles. Sodium isn't just a flavor. It's a chemical that holds water in your bloodstream, increases your blood volume, and puts enormous pressure on your heart and blood vessels. Over time, this pressure leads to hypertension, arterial stiffness, and ultimately heart failure. I've had patients come in baffled by why their blood pressure remained high despite eating healthy. They had cut out fried food, exercised, even stopped drinking, but they never suspected the small pile of pickles on their plate could be what was slowly sabotaging their progress. The scary part? Salt damage doesn't announce itself. There are no warning signs until there's a stroke or chest pain or the frightening news of congestive heart failure. If you're over 60, your kidneys can't filter salt as efficiently, and your arteries are more vulnerable. Pickles, canned vegetables, even healthy soups can carry hidden salt loads that quietly undo all your hard work. Cooking at home, reading labels, and flavoring food with herbs or lemon instead of salt can save your heart more than you know. But salt isn't the only hidden threat in your kitchen. There's another vegetable that looks completely innocent until you realize it's igniting inflammation and silently raising your blood pressure with every bite. Let's talk about that next. 3. Red chili peppers, the fiery ingredient that's fueling your heart's downfall. For many seniors, food is more than nourishment. It's memory, culture, even comfort. And nothing brings that alive like a little spice. A dash of red chili pepper, a spicy stew, a kick of heat. It's tradition, it's flavor, it's passion. But what many don't realize is that this fiery little vegetable may be lighting a slow-burning fuse inside your chest. Red chili peppers, especially the hot concentrated varieties, trigger a cascade of reactions in your body. They stimulate your nervous system, raise adrenaline, and increase your heart rate. For a younger, healthy person, this might not be a problem. But after age 60, when arteries are more rigid and the heart is more sensitive, this extra stimulation becomes dangerous. I've seen older patients come into my clinic with heart palpitations, chest tightness, or spikes in blood pressure, often after a spicy meal. And yet, they never suspected the culprit was the pepper. The problem isn't just heat, it's the body's stress response. Your blood vessels tighten, blood pressure surges, and if you already have heart disease or hypertension, that one spicy meal can push your heart into a dangerous rhythm or even trigger an attack. Over time, frequent consumption of hot chili peppers can lead to chronic inflammation in your vascular system, wearing down the very pathways your heart relies on to keep you alive. Now, I'm not saying you need to live without flavor, but you don't need fire to make food delicious. Mild herbs, garlic, ginger, and citrus can bring your meals alive without taxing your heart. Listen to your body. The foods you crave may be comforting, but comfort shouldn't come at the cost of cardiac stress. And if spicy foods are silently harming your heart, what about something that's praised for healing, but when eaten raw, can turn dangerous fast? You may be surprised by the next one. 4. Raw garlic. When nature's medicine turns against your heart. Garlic has earned its place in the world of natural healing. For centuries, it's been praised for lowering cholesterol, thinning the blood, and supporting heart health. Many seniors trust it deeply, adding raw cloves to their meals or even swallowing them whole like medicine. And while garlic can indeed be powerful, power, when misused, can quietly become poison. What most don't realize is that raw garlic is a potent blood thinner, and when combined with certain heart medications, especially anticoagulants like warfarin or aspirin, it can dangerously amplify their effects. This means your blood may become too thin, increasing the risk of internal bleeding, bruising, and in some cases, life-threatening hemorrhages. I've treated patients who had nosebleeds that wouldn't stop, black stools, or sudden drops in blood pressure, all while believing they were being healthy with garlic. But it's not just about bleeding. Garlic, when eaten in large raw quantities, can also lower blood pressure abruptly. For someone already taking medication for hypertension, this can cause dizziness, fatigue, or even fainting. At a certain point, the heart doesn't get the blood flow it needs, and that's where real damage begins. The frustrating part, it feels like you're doing everything right. You're not eating junk, you're not being careless. You're just trusting in a remedy that's been celebrated for generations. The truth is, even natural foods have limits. And after 60, your body changes how it responds to both food and medicine. The best health decisions are made not just from tradition, but from understanding. If you love garlic, use it cooked and moderately, but always talk to your doctor before making it a daily dose. Now, if raw garlic can pose a risk in silence, what about something even more common? Something fresh, crunchy, and often eaten raw, but might be carrying a hidden enemy you can't see? What's lurking in that healthy looking sprout? Let's look closer. 5. Raw sprouts, the innocent crunch that could break a senior's heart. They look fresh, vibrant, and full of life. Raw sprouts, like alfalfa, bean, or mung sprouts, are often praised as a superfood for their crunch, their enzymes, and their clean, raw energy. For many health conscious seniors, tossing a handful onto a sandwich or salad feels like the right choice. But behind their delicate appearance lies a hidden danger that can quietly undermine your heart and your health. Sprouts grow in warm, moist environments, the very conditions that bacteria like E. coli, Salmonella, and Listeria thrive in. While younger adults may recover from foodborne illnesses with discomfort, seniors are at a much higher risk of severe consequences. As we age, our immune systems weaken, and the body's ability to fight off infections becomes slower and less efficient. What starts as a mild stomachache can rapidly evolve into sepsis, dehydration, or a dangerous infection of the heart lining, a condition called endocarditis. In my years treating older patients with heart conditions, I've seen how something as seemingly harmless as a contaminated sprout led to hospitalizations, irregular heart rhythms, or worsened congestive heart failure. The body can't heal the heart when it's busy fighting off an infection, and these infections often go unnoticed until it's too late. The irony is heartbreaking. You try to eat fresh, eat green, eat clean, only to be hurt by the very foods meant to nourish you. That's why raw sprouts should never be taken lightly. If you must enjoy them, cook them first. A quick saute or steam can kill harmful bacteria while preserving flavor and nutrition. In the journey to protect your heart, it's not just what you eat, it's how you eat it and how your body is able to handle it now, not 20 years ago. And if a sprout can harbor such risk, what about vegetables that aren't dangerous on their own, but become harmful when paired with common heart medications? What's next might be sitting on your plate tonight. 6. So what should seniors eat to truly protect the heart? After learning which vegetables may silently harm your heart, you might be wondering, what can you eat? What foods actually help your heart heal, strengthen, and thrive after 60? The answer isn't in trendy diets or miracle ingredients. It's in real, whole vegetables that support your aging heart's unique needs. Foods that reduce inflammation, balance blood pressure, nourish blood vessels, and work in harmony with your medications instead of against them. Steamed broccoli, gently roasted carrots, sautéed kale, sweet potatoes, cooked tomatoes, and heart-healthy legumes like lentils and green beans are all excellent choices. These foods are rich in antioxidants, potassium, fiber, and plant compounds that actively protect your arteries and lower strain on the heart. Unlike raw sprouts or salty pickles, these vegetables are kind to your body, easy to digest, and support stable blood sugar and pressure levels. After 60, your heart doesn't need extreme diets. It needs consistency, balance, and foods that love you back. I've watched patients turn their heart health around, not through medication alone, but by building a plate that's simple, warm, and healing. A cup of lightly steamed greens, a baked root vegetable, a bowl of bean soup. These small choices done daily can reverse years of silent damage. And if you're worried that healthy food has to be bland or boring, think again. Herbs like rosemary, turmeric, garlic, in moderation, and fresh lemon bring flavor without stress. Food should nourish not just your heart, but your spirit. But now that you know what to eat, there's one more thing you need to do. Because even the best vegetables can't help a heart that's being sabotaged by one small but deadly habit. Let's talk about that next. A heart that still has time. Your heart has been beating for you since the day you were born, over 2 billion times by the time you reach 60. It has never asked for anything in return, but now it's asking for your attention. Aging is not about giving up. It's about getting wiser. And wisdom means knowing that what once worked for your body may no longer serve you. The vegetables that helped you in your youth might quietly harm you now if eaten the wrong way, at the wrong time, or alongside the wrong medications. But here's the good news. You're not too late. The damage isn't final. Every small change you make today, what you eat, what you avoid, how you move, how you rest, can begin to reverse years of silent strain. I've seen it happen. Seniors who were tired, breathless, defeated, come back with stronger pulses, clearer minds, and lighter steps. Not because they did something extreme, but because they paid attention. They listened to their bodies. They made better choices one day at a time. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be consistent. Your heart still has time, still has strength, and still has love to give to you, your family, and this life you've worked so hard to build. So start today. Revisit your plate. Rethink your habits. Reclaim your energy. Because your next heartbeat is a gift, and it's yours to protect. These lessons are meant to inspire you to live fully and authentically. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Take a moment to reflect and share one thing you've learned and plan to apply in your own life. Let's support each other on this journey toward embracing these truths. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a comment with 1. If not, feel free to comment with 0. Your feedback means a lot to us. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more content like this. Thank you for watching, and here's to living life on your own terms. If you're over 60, every move you make, every step you take or don't take can directly impact your heart. What if I told you that certain popular exercises, the very ones you thought were keeping you strong, might actually be silently damaging your heart every single day? I'm not here to scare you. I'm here to protect you. As a heart doctor, I've seen too many seniors walk into my clinic feeling perfectly fine, only to discover elevated blood pressure, irregular heart rhythms, or signs of heart strain they never expected. And in many of those cases, it wasn't poor diet or lack of movement that caused the issue. It was the wrong type of movement. Exercises that were too intense, too sudden, or simply too much for a heart that's aging and needs a different kind of care. Most seniors don't even realize they're making this mistake. In this video, I'm begging you to stop 5 specific types of exercise that could be weakening your heart, not strengthening it. But don't worry, I'll also show you what to do instead. Keep watching, because your heart deserves better. And habit number 1 might be the very thing you're doing today. Before we dive in, if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you hit that button and turn on the bell so you never miss another health tip made just for you. If you enjoy this video, type 1 in the comments. If not, type 0 to let me know how I can make better content for you. 1. High-intensity interval training, HIIT, and overexertion, a silent threat to the aging heart. After 60, your heart is no longer the same heart that carried you through your youth. It's more fragile, more vulnerable, and far less forgiving of extremes. That's why high-intensity interval training, those short bursts of intense exertion followed by brief rest periods, can be one of the most dangerous exercises for older adults. As a heart doctor, I've watched too many seniors take on these trendy workouts thinking they're doing the right thing, believing that sweating more means living longer. But the truth is, these types of workouts place sudden, immense pressure on a heart that may already be battling hypertension, arrhythmias, or hardened arteries. When you push yourself into rapid, breathless states, your heart is forced to pump harder and faster than it safely can. For many seniors, this doesn't build strength, it builds risk. Even worse, the damage isn't always immediate. The heart strains quietly. Blood pressure spikes subtly. Electrical rhythms become unstable. You may feel a little lightheaded or a bit more tired, brushing it off as aging. But inside, your heart is waving a red flag that too often gets ignored until it's too late. What's most heartbreaking is that many seniors do these workouts because they want to stay independent, live longer, or keep up with younger peers. But the cost of pushing beyond your body's limit can be a trip to the ER or a life-altering event. Exercise should strengthen your heart, not break it. Gentle walking, Tai Chi, light swimming, these are the quiet heroes of senior heart health. They support your body without shocking it. They work with your heart, not against it. In your 60s, 70s, and beyond, safety is strength. Sustainability is success. But there's another mistake I see all the time. One that doesn't just involve movement, but posture and pressure. And unfortunately, it's hiding in plain sight at gyms and home workouts everywhere. If you're still watching and finding these insights helpful, please comment number 1 below to let me know you're with me. Now let's move on to point number 2. 2. Core crunches and heavy lifting, when strength training turns against your heart. There's a common belief that building a strong body protects us as we age, and to some extent that's true. Muscle keeps us mobile, stable, and independent. But as a heart specialist, I've seen something far more complex and dangerous. When older adults engage in exercises like crunches, sit-ups, or heavy weightlifting, without understanding the internal pressure they create, they may be putting their heart in harm's way. What many seniors don't realize is that straining during a core crunch or lifting a heavy dumbbell causes a spike in intra-abdominal and thoracic pressure. This pressure doesn't just stay in the belly or chest. It presses inward and upward, creating a surge in blood pressure and a sudden demand on the heart to compensate. For an aging heart, especially one already compromised by stiff arteries or silent plaque buildup, this can be a breaking point. I've treated patients who fainted mid-rep, experienced chest pain during a set, or suffered arrhythmias shortly after what they thought was a normal gym session. The irony is that these individuals weren't neglecting their health, they were actively trying to preserve it. But the body in its 60s or 70s isn't the same as it was decades ago. The circulatory system is less elastic, the heart more vulnerable to sudden changes in pressure. A single incorrect lift or improperly performed abdominal contraction can lead to consequences no one expects in a fitness routine. The key isn't to avoid strength training altogether. It's to modify it with care. Use resistance bands instead of weights. Focus on controlled, slow movements. Work with a trainer who understands cardiac limitations. You don't have to stop building strength. You just need to stop shocking your system. And yet, not all risks come from exertion. Some come from something much simpler, something you can't even see. But your heart can feel it every time the temperature shifts. 3. Exercising in extreme temperatures, when the weather becomes your heart's silent enemy. We often talk about exercise as the answer to better health, and it is. But for seniors, the when and where of physical activity matter just as much as the exercise itself. I've seen too many well-meaning older adults step outside for a walk on a brisk winter morning or a sweltering summer afternoon, unaware that the very environment around them is working against their heart. When you're over 60, your body loses much of its ability to regulate internal temperature. In the cold, your blood vessels constrict to preserve warmth, causing blood pressure to rise, a natural reaction that can strain a heart already dealing with hypertension or plaque-filled arteries. In extreme heat, the opposite happens. Your blood vessels dilate, your heart races to cool you down, and dehydration sets in faster than you expect. In both cases, the heart is forced to work harder, not from exertion, but from survival. I've witnessed patients collapse during neighborhood walks in the heat or suffer shortness of breath after just a few minutes in the winter air. These aren't outliers, they're warning signs. Many seniors don't realize how sensitive the cardiovascular system becomes to temperature changes. Your heart doesn't need to run a marathon to be stressed. It just needs to be exposed to the wrong environment at the wrong time. Exercise should be an act of healing, not hazard. For seniors, that often means choosing comfort over challenge. Find indoor environments with stable temperatures. Hydrate before, during, and after activity. Dress in breathable layers or warm gear, but above all, listen when your body whispers before it starts to scream. But while weather is an external enemy, there's a deeper danger that lies in the very style of movement many seniors choose, especially when it involves fast-paced, jarring motions that throw off more than just balance. What happens next might surprise you. If you're still watching and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 1 below to let me know you're here. Now let's keep going with point number 4. 4. Jumping, rapid movements, and sudden direction changes. The hidden chaos inside an aging body. There's something about fast-paced exercise that feels energizing, like we're fighting back against time. Jumping jacks, stair sprints, burpees, or quick aerobics classes may look harmless, even empowering. But when you're over 60, those same movements can quietly wreak havoc on a body that no longer handles shock, speed, or sudden shifts the way it once did. I've watched patients, strong, proud seniors, try to match the rhythm of younger peers in community fitness classes or online routines. And not long after, I've seen them arrive in my clinic, describing dizzy spells, pounding hearts, or worse, falls they couldn't explain. It's not weakness, it's biology. As we age, our nervous system reacts slower, our balance becomes less reliable, and our arteries stiffen. Rapid shifts in movement, jumping up, twisting, turning quickly, create a storm of demands on the cardiovascular system. Blood pressure can fluctuate, the heart can race irregularly, and oxygen delivery may struggle to keep up. These motions don't just strain muscles, they confuse the body. What feels like a simple jump or lunge is, to the aging body, a challenge in coordination, blood flow, and recovery. And for seniors with even mild cardiovascular issues, the risk of arrhythmia or a dangerous fall becomes very real. The most heartbreaking part? These seniors are often just trying to stay active, stay young, stay independent. But true strength at this age comes not from speed, but from control. Not from how fast you can move, but from how gently you protect what matters most: your heart, your balance, your peace. Slow, fluid exercises like Tai Chi, water aerobics, or even gentle stretching may seem less impressive, but they are profoundly effective. They stabilize the body, they soothe the heart, they bring longevity without risk. Yet, even with safe movement, there's another threat that hides not in how we exercise, but when, especially if your routine collides with something as simple and common as bedtime. 5. Exercising too late at night, when good intentions disrupt the heart's deepest healing. At first glance, working out in the evening might seem like a smart solution. After all, the day is done, the house is quiet, and there's finally time to move. But for those of us in our 60s, 70s, and beyond, what feels convenient can sometimes quietly compromise one of the most vital processes your body needs to survive: restorative sleep. I've seen it many times. Seniors who take an evening walk after dinner, do light cardio before bed, or try a quick workout late at night in the name of discipline. They mean well, but they don't realize that even light physical exertion too close to bedtime can stimulate the nervous system, elevate the heart rate, and delay the body's natural transition into deep, healing rest. As we age, our sleep becomes more fragile. Our internal rhythms, called circadian cycles, become more sensitive to disruption. Late night exercise, especially if it raises your core temperature or adrenaline levels, tells your body, stay alert, just when it should be winding down. And here's the hidden danger. Poor sleep is directly linked to higher blood pressure, increased inflammation, insulin resistance, and even irregular heart rhythms. Your heart needs rest just as much as your muscles do, maybe even more. If you regularly sacrifice deep sleep for evening activity, you may be unknowingly robbing your heart of its most essential time to repair and recover. It's not that seniors shouldn't move, it's that movement must align with the body's natural cycles. Morning or early afternoon exercise supports better sleep, steadier energy, and more balanced cardiovascular health. Let your evenings be about slowing down, not speeding up. Because while sleep is when your heart heals, there's something else just as vital during those waking hours. A habit so small, so easily skipped, that many seniors never think twice about it until it becomes the very thing that puts their heart at risk. 6. A message from my heart to yours: the quiet power of listening to your body. If you've made it this far, thank you. It tells me you care, not just about living longer, but about living better. And that's why I want to speak to you now, not as a doctor, but as a fellow human being who has seen too much pain that could have been prevented. I've spent decades in hospital rooms and clinics, sitting beside seniors who were strong, wise, and full of life, until a single decision, a single habit, or a single workout took it all away. And so many of them said the same thing: I didn't think it was a big deal. That phrase haunts me because when you're over 60, almost everything becomes a big deal. What you eat, how you move, when you rest, how you handle stress. Your heart, after beating for you tirelessly for decades, is asking, sometimes begging, for your attention, not out of fear, but out of need. You don't need to train like you're 30. You don't need to chase some ideal image of active aging if it pushes you beyond what your body is ready for. What you need is consistency, kindness, and awareness. There is no medal for overexertion, only the quiet, priceless reward of waking up each morning with a steady heart and a clear mind. Let go of the myth that more is better. Start choosing wiser, not harder. Walk with presence, rest with purpose, move in harmony with your age, not in rebellion against it. That is strength. That is courage. That is what protects your heart. And yet, even as you embrace better habits and safer exercise, there's one more trap I need to warn you about. One that doesn't happen during movement, but in the moments you skip it, when the cost of doing nothing begins to silently build. The final beat: your heart deserves your wisdom, not your silence. If there's one truth I've learned after decades in cardiology, it's this: the heart doesn't ask for much, but it gives you everything. It beats without being told. It supports you through every emotion, every step, every year. But after 60, your heart needs you to listen, not to fear it, but to honor it. These 5 exercises I've asked you to stop aren't bad in themselves. They're just not made for an aging heart. What once felt energizing might now be exhausting. What once built strength might now invite strain. And that's okay. Aging isn't weakness, it's wisdom. Your journey forward should not be about pushing harder. It should be about moving smarter, breathing deeper, and choosing what heals instead of what harms. Because your health isn't measured in sweat or speed, it's measured in the quiet strength of consistency, balance, and care. Let today be the day you start protecting your heart, not punishing it. And if no one's told you this yet, you're not too old, it's not too late, and every gentle decision you make adds life to your years and years to your life. Now take that next step, carefully, kindly, and with your heart in mind. These lessons are meant to inspire you to live fully and authentically. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Take a moment to reflect and share one thing you've learned and plan to apply in your own life. Let's support each other on this journey toward embracing these truths. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a comment with 1. If not, feel free to comment with 0. Your feedback means a lot to us. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more content like this. Thank you for watching, and here's to living life on your own terms. If you're over 60, every pill you take, every supplement you add to your routine matters more than you think. What you swallow each morning might seem small, but inside your body, it could be silently pushing your heart toward danger. As a heart doctor, I've spent years treating older adults who came into my clinic feeling fine, confident in their daily vitamins, and walked out shocked by what we found: elevated blood pressure, irregular heart rhythms, clogged arteries, or worse, a heart on the verge of failure. The truth is, most seniors have no idea that some of the very vitamins marketed as heart healthy are quietly doing the opposite. It's not just about diet or exercise. It's about the pills we trust, the ones we take without a second thought. In this video, I'm begging you to stop taking these 5 specific supplements. I'll explain exactly how they affect your aging heart and what you should be using instead. Because yes, your heart can heal, but only if you stop the damage in time. Let's begin with the most overlooked danger of all, a vitamin most people believe is protecting them, but it's not. Before we dive in, if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you hit that button and turn on the bell so you never miss another health tip made just for you. If you enjoy this video, type 1 in the comments. If not, type 0 to let me know how I can make better content for you. 1. Vitamin E in high doses. For decades, vitamin E has been seen as a kind of miracle antioxidant, a daily shield against aging, memory loss, and even heart disease. It's found in nearly every senior health supplement on the market, and many older adults proudly take 400 to 800 IU a day without hesitation. But here's the hidden truth that too few know. In high doses, vitamin E doesn't protect your heart. It puts it in danger. As a heart doctor, I've seen it too often. Seniors who are doing everything right, exercising, eating well, taking their vitamins, but still end up in the ER with a weakened heartbeat or unexplained bleeding. One of the culprits? High-dose vitamin E. When taken in large amounts, vitamin E thins your blood. That may sound helpful at first until you realize that for seniors whose blood vessels are more fragile and who may already be on aspirin, statins, or blood pressure medications, this effect becomes dangerous. Excess thinning raises the risk of internal bleeding, hemorrhagic stroke, and heart rhythm issues. What's worse is that the damage is often silent. There are no early symptoms. By the time you feel something is wrong, the harm may already be done. Most seniors don't need high-dose vitamin E at all. In fact, getting it from food, like a handful of almonds, a spoonful of sunflower seeds, or leafy greens, is safer, more effective, and better absorbed by the body. If you do supplement, do so under medical supervision and never exceed the recommended safe dose, usually under 200 IU per day. So, before you pop that next pill thinking it's helping your heart, ask yourself, is this really what my heart needs, or what marketing has made me believe? And if you think that's the only surprising danger hiding in your medicine cabinet, wait until you hear what calcium might be doing to your arteries. If you're still watching and finding these insights helpful, please comment number 1 below to let me know you're with me. Now let's move on to point number 2. 2. Calcium supplements without vitamin K2. You've been told for years that calcium is essential for strong bones, and that after 60, your bones become fragile and brittle. So naturally, like millions of older adults, you reach for calcium supplements every day, believing they're helping to prevent fractures and keep you upright and independent. But here's what no one told you. Without vitamin K2, that daily calcium might be silently hardening your arteries instead of strengthening your bones. I've seen seniors with perfect bone scans, but clogged arteries, chest pain, and even heart attacks. Their mistake? They were taking calcium in isolation. You see, calcium doesn't automatically know where to go in your body. Without guidance, it can settle in the walls of your arteries instead of being absorbed into your bones. This leads to arterial calcification, a stiffening of your blood vessels that makes your heart work harder, raises your blood pressure, and increases your risk of heart failure or stroke. Vitamin K2 is the key to solving this puzzle. It acts like a traffic officer telling calcium where to go, directing it away from soft tissues and toward your bones where it belongs. But most over-the-counter calcium supplements don't include it. That's not just a small oversight, it's a dangerous gap that too many seniors don't know about until it's too late. If you truly want to protect your bones and your heart, get your calcium from whole foods like leafy greens, yogurt, or sardines. And if you must take supplements, choose one that combines calcium with K2 and magnesium. Always ask your doctor what's right for your body, because health isn't about piling on pills, it's about balance. And if you think calcium was surprising, wait until you hear what excess iron could be doing inside your heart, even if you've never been diagnosed with anemia. 3. Iron supplements when you don't need them. Iron is one of those nutrients that sounds essential, and it is in the right amount. But for many seniors, taking iron when it's not needed is like pouring fuel into an already full tank. Sooner or later, it spills over and causes damage, and in this case, the damage is to your heart. I've met many well-meaning older adults who start taking iron because they feel a little tired or because they found it listed in a complete senior multivitamin. They think it's harmless, just a little boost to fight fatigue. But here's the truth. Your body has no natural way to get rid of excess iron. When you take more than you need, it builds up, not just in your liver, but also in your heart, your joints, and your brain. This condition, sometimes called iron overload, may go unnoticed for years, but inside it's doing serious harm. Too much iron creates oxidative stress, a kind of internal rust that weakens the heart muscle, disrupts its rhythm, and increases the risk of heart failure. It can mimic fatigue, memory problems, and joint aches. Symptoms many seniors chalk up to aging, but the root cause might be hiding in your supplement bottle. Before you ever take an iron pill, ask yourself, has my doctor actually tested my ferritin or iron levels? If the answer is no, then pause. Never supplement iron based on guesswork. Many seniors don't need it at all. And in fact, it may be the one supplement slowly wearing down the very organ trying to keep you alive. So while iron deficiency is real for some, unnecessary iron is far more dangerous than most people realize, especially after age 60. And speaking of overlooked dangers, there's one vitamin that appears in almost every brain booster energy pill, but in high doses, it can quietly damage your nerves and disrupt your heart's natural rhythm. Let's talk about B6. If you're still watching and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 1 below to let me know you're here. Now let's keep going with point number 4. 4. Vitamin B6 in excess, over 100 mg per day. Vitamin B6 is often promoted as a feel-good nutrient. You'll find it in sleep aids, energy boosters, memory formulas, and even in many brain health supplements designed specifically for seniors. It's marketed as safe, natural, and essential. But what no one tells you is that too much B6 can quietly damage your nerves, disturb your heart's rhythm, and leave you feeling worse, not better. Over the years, I've spoken with seniors who report these strange tingling in their hands or feet, unsteady balance, or heart palpitations that come and go without explanation. They've been told it's just part of getting older, but often the true cause is something hiding in plain sight, high-dose B6 in their daily supplements. You see, unlike many vitamins that flush easily from the body, vitamin B6 can build up in your system over time. And once it reaches toxic levels, it begins to damage the protective sheath around your nerves, leading to numbness, burning sensations, and muscle weakness. What's even more concerning is that too much B6 can also interfere with the electrical signals that keep your heart beating smoothly, leading to irregular heart rhythms that increase your risk of stroke or sudden cardiac arrest. The worst part, most people have no idea they're overdosing. Many common supplements contain 200-500% of the daily recommended intake, and when combined with energy drinks, sleep aids, or fortified foods, the total amount quickly adds up. The safe approach is simple. Stick with food sources like bananas, chickpeas, and fortified grains, and only take B6 supplements under medical guidance. More is not better, especially when your heart and nervous system are more sensitive with age. Now, if you think vitamins are the only hidden danger in your daily routine, think again. Because the biggest risk might actually be hiding in the multivitamin labeled heart healthy. Let's take a closer look. 5. Heart health multivitamins loaded with filler ingredients. Walk into any pharmacy or grocery store, and you'll see shelves filled with brightly colored boxes labeled Heart Support, 50 plus essentials, or Senior Vitality. They promise protection, energy, clarity, and peace of mind, all in a handful of pills. But behind the marketing, there's a truth most people don't know. Many of these so-called heart health multivitamins are packed with unnecessary and sometimes dangerous ingredients that can actually do more harm than good. As a heart doctor, I've seen it happen far too often. Seniors come in with unexplained symptoms: irregular heartbeat, high blood pressure, dizziness, liver strain, and when we dig deeper, the common thread is a daily multivitamin packed with megadoses, stimulants, or herbal blends not meant for aging bodies. Some of these pills contain excess niacin, which can cause liver stress and sudden drops in blood pressure. Others are loaded with caffeine-like herbs such as green tea extract or ginseng, which can spike heart rate and trigger arrhythmias. Even vitamin A in large amounts can become toxic over time. And worst of all, These risks are often hidden under vague labels like proprietary blend, so you never really know what you're taking. The truth is, the older we get, the more sensitive our bodies become, especially the heart. A supplement that might be harmless in your 30s can become dangerous in your 70s. That's why simplicity is often safer. Instead of taking a dozen pills you don't fully understand, focus on just what you need and let your doctor guide the rest. So before you trust that fancy label or daily health pack, ask, who is this really helping? Me or the company selling it? But there's one more thing we need to talk about, perhaps the most powerful truth of all. Your heart doesn't just depend on pills. It depends on how you live, breathe, and believe in your ability to change. Let's bring everything together. 6. What vitamin should I use instead? After hearing all the warnings, you might be wondering, so what's left? What vitamins can I trust? It's a good question, and one I hear every day from patients who feel overwhelmed by shelves of bottles, internet ads, and well-meaning advice. The truth is, your heart doesn't need a cabinet full of pills. It needs just a few carefully chosen doctor-guided nutrients, ones that support your body gently and effectively as you age. So, what should you actually consider? Vitamin D3 is one of the few supplements almost every senior needs, especially those who live in colder climates or stay indoors. It helps regulate blood pressure, support your immune system, and keep your bones and heart strong. Magnesium is another unsung hero, helping your heart maintain a steady rhythm while easing muscle tension and improving sleep. And omega-3 fatty acids, ideally from fish oil or flaxseed, help reduce inflammation and support smoother blood flow through aging arteries. But here's what matters more than the label on the bottle: how these nutrients fit into your overall lifestyle. No supplement will ever replace movement, a balanced diet, deep breathing, good sleep, and meaningful connection. Vitamins should support your habits, not make up for harmful ones. Less is often more. What you take matters, but how you live matters more. Before adding any new supplement, have an honest conversation with your doctor or pharmacist. Bring in your full list. Ask questions. Get curious. Because the more informed you are, the better you can protect the heart that's carried you through a lifetime of experiences. Now, if you've ever wondered whether it's too late to start over, to rebuild a healthier relationship with your heart, your habits, and your future, let me leave you with one truth I've seen time and again in my practice. Your heart still has time if you choose to listen. If there's one thing I've learned after decades of treating hearts, it's that the human heart is far more forgiving than we think. Even after years of stress, poor habits, or misguided choices, it wants to heal. It wants to keep beating strong, but only if you give it the chance. You don't need to live in fear. You don't need to throw away every bottle in your cabinet. You simply need to slow down, ask questions, and choose with intention. Your heart doesn't care about what the label on a supplement promises. It cares about what you consistently do. That means nourishing your body with real food, moving every day, sleeping deeply, managing stress, and yes, being wise about what you put in your body, even if it's just a vitamin. If you're feeling overwhelmed, you're not alone. Every senior I've worked with has faced this moment, a turning point between habit and healing. And what I can tell you with certainty is this: it's never too late. Not at 60, not at 70, not even at 90. Your next chapter can be one of strength, clarity, and renewed energy if you listen to your body and start making choices with care. So please, let today be the day you stop believing every pill is safe just because it's sold over the counter. Start asking better questions. Start protecting the one organ that has never stopped working for you, your heart. It's been with you your entire life. Now it's your turn to be there for it. These lessons are meant to inspire you to live fully and authentically. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Take a moment to reflect and share one thing you've learned and plan to apply in your own life. Let's support each other on this journey toward embracing these truths. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a comment with 1. If not, feel free to comment with 0. Your feedback means a lot to us. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more content like this. Thank you for watching, and here's to living life on your own terms. If you're over 60, every fruit you eat, every habit you've kept for years, and every sweet bite you believe is healthy could be silently impacting your heart. But what if I told you that some of the fruits you enjoy daily, yes, fruits, may be quietly doing more harm than good? As a heart doctor, I've seen this happen far too often, and it always starts the same way. Seniors walk into my clinic thinking they're making the right choices, switching to fruit instead of desserts, avoiding sodas, drinking juice in the morning. But what many don't realize is that certain fruits, depending on how they're eaten or combined with medications, can push the heart toward real danger. Some spike your blood sugar, others interfere with prescription drugs, and some carry more sugar than your heart can handle at this stage in life. In this video, I'm asking, truly begging, every senior to rethink 5 fruits that could be harming their heart. I'll walk you through each one, show you what makes them risky, and offer safer, heart-smart alternatives. These dangers are preventable. You just need to know what to watch for. So please stay with me because the first fruit might already be in your kitchen right now. Before we dive in, if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you hit that button and turn on the bell so you never miss another health tip made just for you. If you enjoy this video, type 1 in the comments. If not, type 0 to let me know how I can make better content for you. 1. Bananas, the potassium overload that may overwhelm your heart. We've been told for decades that bananas are the ideal snack, soft, portable, easy to digest, and packed with potassium. For many seniors, they're a go-to choice, especially after a walk, before taking medications, or as part of a morning smoothie. But what if I told you that this gentle fruit, when consumed without awareness, can quietly push your heart toward failure? Potassium is essential. It regulates your heartbeat, supports muscle function, and maintains fluid balance. But after the age of 60, your kidneys don't filter potassium as efficiently. Add to that the fact that many heart medications like ACE inhibitors or potassium-sparing diuretics already increase potassium levels, and you now have a dangerous combination. I've watched seemingly healthy seniors, active and alert, arrive at the ER with irregular heart rhythms, extreme fatigue, even sudden collapses, all linked to undetected hyperkalemia or excess potassium in the blood. And here's the tragic part. They thought they were making the right choice. Doctor, I gave up chips. I only eat fruit now. They didn't know that a single large banana contains over 400 milligrams of potassium. Multiply that by 2 or 3 a day, and over time it builds silently without symptoms until the heart begins to misfire. I'm not saying bananas are bad. I'm saying they require caution, especially if you're on heart or kidney medications. Don't eat blindly. Eat wisely. Your body has changed, and so must your choices. But if something as soft and sweet as a banana can betray your heart, what about a fruit that's even more deceptive? Praised for its cleansing effects, yet powerful enough to cancel out the very medications keeping you alive? Let's talk about that next. If you're still watching and finding these insights helpful, please comment number 1 below to let me know you're with me. Now let's move on to point number 2. 2. Grapefruit, the fruit that fights your medication. There's something beautifully nostalgic about grapefruit. For many seniors, it brings back memories of quiet breakfasts, clean eating, and the promise of a fresh start. Its tangy bite, its brightness in the bowl, it feels like a smart, healthy choice. But behind that familiar taste lies a hidden threat that too many people overlook. For those of us over 60, especially those living with heart conditions, grapefruit can silently become the enemy of the very medications meant to protect us. This fruit interacts with a key enzyme in the liver, CYP3A4, which plays a major role in how our bodies process many medications, including blood pressure drugs, statins, antiarrhythmics, and others critical to heart health. When grapefruit blocks this enzyme, it causes medications to build up in the bloodstream, sometimes doubling or tripling their potency. The side effects can be subtle at first, dizziness, lightheadedness, muscle pain. But I've seen it escalate into far more serious outcomes: dangerously low blood pressure, erratic heartbeats, even hospitalization from what started as a simple glass of juice. And the heartbreaking truth? Most people never saw it coming. They thought they were doing everything right, walking daily, eating clean, taking their pills, not realizing that one fruit could undo it all. Grapefruit isn't just another citrus, it's a chemical disruptor. A single glass of juice can linger in your system for days, affecting how your medications behave long after you've taken that last sip. So, before you reach for that grapefruit half tomorrow morning, ask yourself, is it really worth the risk? Because if grapefruit can quietly dismantle your heart medication, wait until you learn about the next fruit. A sweet, innocent looking snack that's packing more sugar than you'd ever expect, and it's hiding in plain sight. 3. Dried fruits, sugar bombs, disguised as health food. There's something comforting about dried fruit. It reminds us of simpler times, of homemade trail mix, of little boxes of raisins tucked into lunch bags, of snacks that feel natural and wholesome. For many seniors, dried fruits are a daily ritual, easy on the teeth, quick to grab, and seemingly a better alternative to candy or baked goods. But what few realize is that these shriveled little bites may be some of the most concentrated sources of sugar in the modern diet, and for an aging heart, they can become a quiet danger. When fruit is dried, it loses water but keeps all its natural sugar, and then some. Often manufacturers add even more sweeteners to enhance taste or shelf life. The result? A handful of dried mango or cranberries can contain more sugar than a candy bar, yet it comes dressed in the disguise of healthy. And for seniors, especially those managing high blood pressure, prediabetes, or heart disease, these sugar spikes are not harmless. They lead to inflammation, unstable blood sugar, and insulin resistance, all of which wear down your arteries and place relentless strain on your heart. I've seen patients proudly trade in their cookies for dried fruit, believing they were making the heart-smart choice, only to return weeks later with rising A1C levels, unexplained fatigue, and stubborn weight gain. The body, especially after 60, no longer processes sugar like it once did. Every sugary bite matters. And while whole, fresh fruits provide balance, fiber, water, vitamins, dried fruits offer mostly one thing: a concentrated sugary punch. So before you snack on another handful of dates or raisins, pause. Ask yourself, is this fruit helping your heart or quietly harming it? And if sugar in its dried form can be this deceptive, imagine what happens when fruit isn't just sweet, but preserved in syrup and sealed in a can. What's next might be sitting in your pantry right now. If you're still watching and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 1 below to let me know you're here. Now let's keep going with point number 4. 4. Canned fruit in syrup, the silent saboteur on your shelf. There was a time when canned fruit felt like a symbol of care. A warm peach cobbler from a neighbor, a soft pear in syrup spooned gently to a loved one in recovery. It felt nourishing, simple, and safe. And for many seniors today, it still holds that place and convenient, soft enough to chew, and a sweet moment of pleasure. But what hides inside that syrup-soaked fruit is something your aging heart may not be able to afford. Canned fruits packed in syrup are more dessert than they are fruit. The syrup, often a thick solution of high fructose corn syrup or refined sugar, turns even a healthy slice of peach into a sugar-laden threat. For older adults, especially those living with diabetes, high blood pressure, or heart failure, these hidden sugars are dangerous. They spike blood sugar, raise triglycerides, and inflame the delicate walls of your arteries. Over time, these daily indulgences, often seen as harmless, contribute to weight gain, insulin resistance, and silent strain on the heart's most vital functions. I've sat across from patients in disbelief. "Doctor, I don't eat junk," they tell me. "Just fruit from a can after lunch." They don't see that every bite is flooding their system with excess sugar. Their body no longer manages the way it used to. And the worst part? There are no warning signs until the damage is already taking root. If fruit is meant to heal, it must be real, not drenched in syrup, not masked in sweetness. Choose those canned in water, or better yet, choose fresh or frozen. Your heart deserves better than sugar wrapped in nostalgia. But while syrup can sweet talk its way into your diet, there's another fruit that deceives in a different way, one that seems pure, refreshing, even hydrating, yet carries hidden risks that could tip your heart's balance in a single afternoon. 5. Watermelon, the summer favorite that may not love you back. There's something about watermelon that feels timeless. It reminds us of backyard gatherings, family picnics, the laughter of children under the sun. It's sweet, juicy, and so refreshing, a fruit that feels innocent in every way. And for many seniors, it's the perfect snack, hydrating, soft, comforting. But what few realize is that watermelon, when eaten in excess, may not be as heart-friendly as we've always believed, especially in later years when the body's delicate systems begin to shift. Watermelon is rich in natural sugars and high in potassium, two things that, while healthy in small balanced amounts, can become harmful for seniors with heart or kidney conditions. For those on medications like diuretics or blood pressure pills, consuming large portions of watermelon can cause sudden drops in blood pressure, fluid imbalances, or dangerous shifts in electrolyte levels. I've seen patients arrive lightheaded, weak, and dehydrated after a weekend of just fruit, not realizing that their well-meaning choices were quietly draining the body of balance. This fruit doesn't taste dangerous, and that's the problem. Its sweetness feels pure, its texture harmless. But in high quantities, it overwhelms, flooding the bloodstream with sugar, placing extra work on the kidneys, and tipping the heart into a rhythm it can no longer sustain. After 60, the line between healthy and too much becomes thinner than ever. So next time you cut into that bright red slice, ask yourself, is this a treat or a threat in disguise? Because if a fruit as light and lovely as watermelon can disrupt your heart's stability, imagine what happens when multiple healthy fruits come together in your day without you even noticing. What's meant to heal might be the very thing holding you back. And the solution may be far simpler than you think. 6. So what should seniors eat to truly protect the heart? After hearing about all the fruits that may be secretly working against your heart, it's natural to feel uncertain, even frustrated. You've spent a lifetime believing in nature's goodness, And the truth is, nature still holds the key to healing, but only when we choose with clarity, not nostalgia. At this stage in life, the body doesn't need dramatic diets or rigid rules. It needs kindness, consistency, and nourishment that works with it, not against it. The heart, especially after 60, craves balance. It thrives not on extremes, but on stability, steady blood pressure, regulated blood sugar, and blood vessels that flow freely. And the foods that support this rhythm aren't exotic, expensive, or complicated. They are humble, often overlooked, but profoundly powerful when chosen with care. Think of steamed vegetables like broccoli and kale, gently cooked to protect nutrients while easing digestion. Baked sweet potatoes, rich in fiber and potassium, help regulate blood pressure without overwhelming the kidneys. Cooked tomatoes bring lycopene, a compound that protects arteries from oxidative stress. And legumes like lentils, black beans, and green beans offer plant-based protein, soluble fiber, and heart-healthy minerals. These are not trendy foods, they are timeless allies, quietly doing the hard work of healing from the inside out. What makes these foods so powerful is not just their content, but their cooperation. They work in harmony with heart medications rather than against them. They don't spike sugar. They don't challenge kidney function. They nourish the vessel that carries your entire life's rhythm, your heart. I've watched patients who made these simple, thoughtful choices reclaim energy they thought was gone for good. They didn't chase fads. They built plates that loved them back. And yet, even the healthiest foods lose their power if one common daily habit continues unchecked, and a habit so small, so ordinary, you may be doing it without thinking, and it could be slowly undoing everything you're working to protect. Let's talk about that next. Your heart still has time. By the time we reach 60, the heart has already beaten more than 2 billion times through joy, through grief, through years of sacrifice and resilience. It has carried us through decades of life, and now it asks for something in return: attention, intention, and care. The truth is, aging doesn't mean weakness, it means wisdom. But wisdom only becomes power when we apply it. The fruits you once saw as harmless, even healing, may now need to be approached with greater awareness. Your body is no longer the same, and neither is your heart. What once nourished you may now require moderation or even avoidance. But don't let that discourage you. This is not about fear. It's about freedom. The freedom that comes when you understand your body and give it what it truly needs. Every small change, every mindful choice can reverse years of silent strain. I've seen it in my patients: improved energy, better sleep, lighter steps, stronger hearts, not from perfection, but from consistency and care. So start today. Look at your fruit bowl with new eyes. Rethink what healthy means for you at this moment in your life, because your next heartbeat isn't just another rhythm. It's a second chance, one you absolutely deserve. And before you go, remember this: even the best food choices can be undone by one tiny daily habit that far too many seniors overlook. In the next message, we'll uncover what that is and how to stop it before it silently damages the heart you fought so hard to protect. These lessons are meant to inspire you to live fully and authentically. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Take a moment to reflect and share one thing you've learned and plan to apply in your own life. Let's support each other on this journey toward embracing these truths. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a comment with 1. If not, feel free to comment with 0. Your feedback means a lot to us. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more content like this. Thank you for watching, and here's to living life on your own terms. If you're over 60, every drink you choose, whether it's a glass of wine, a cold beer, or a splash of whiskey, has a direct effect on your heart. But what if I told you that one specific type of drink that many seniors enjoy every day is silently weakening the very muscle keeping them alive? As a heart doctor, I've seen far too many older adults walk into my clinic smiling, saying they just have a drink to unwind, only to walk out with diagnoses they never expected: high blood pressure, irregular heartbeat, or even signs of early heart failure. Most seniors don't realize that this habit is dangerous. It's not just about drinking too much or binging on weekends. It's about a daily ritual, one that feels harmless, even healthy, but is slowly wearing down the heart's rhythm, strength, and resilience. In this video, I'm begging seniors to stop drinking these 5 specific alcoholic drinks that are slowly damaging their hearts. But more than that, I'll show you what's safe, what's not, and how to make changes without giving up joy. Watch until the end, because the first drink on the list might already be in your hand. Before we dive in, if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you hit that button and turn on the bell so you never miss another health tip made just for you. If you enjoy this video, type 1 in the comments. If not, type 0 to let me know how I can make better content for you. 1. Red wine every night for heart health. It's one of the most persistent myths I see among older adults. 1 glass of red wine a night is good for my heart. You've probably heard it from a friend, read it in a magazine, or even seen it on TV. And I understand the appeal. It feels elegant, almost medicinal. But as a heart doctor who has treated thousands of seniors, I must tell you the truth. After age 60, that glass of wine doesn't protect your heart. It slowly wears it down. Here's why. Your body processes alcohol differently as you age. The liver becomes slower, the heart more vulnerable, and your blood pressure more sensitive. That nightly ritual, even just a single glass, can gradually raise your blood pressure, weaken your heart muscle, and increase your risk for atrial fibrillation, a condition that triples your risk of stroke. I've sat beside many patients in the ER who thought they were doing everything right, and yet their irregular heartbeat, their silent high blood pressure, came down to this one habit. What's even more concerning is how wine, particularly at night, disrupts your sleep. It might make you feel drowsy, but it leads to shallow, fragmented sleep. Poor sleep raises cortisol levels in your stress hormone, which further stresses your heart. And if you're on medications for blood pressure, diabetes, or cholesterol, alcohol interferes with how they work. In many cases, it neutralizes their benefit entirely. I'm not here to take away life's small pleasures, but I am here to protect the rhythm that's been quietly beating inside you for decades. Your heart deserves more than a ritual based on outdated advice and marketing. So if you've been holding on to that nightly glass in the name of health, I urge you to reconsider. Your heart needs hydration, not ethanol. And speaking of hydration, what you drink matters just as much as what you eat. Now, let's talk about a beverage that feels light, but can be just as deceptive: beer. If you're still watching and finding these insights helpful, please comment number 1 below to let me know you're with me. Now let's move on to point number 2. 2. Beer. Light and easy, but quietly harmful. Many seniors reach for a cold beer believing it's the lighter choice. And it's not hard to see why. Beer commercials show laughter, ease, and a laid-back lifestyle. It feels harmless, even refreshing after a long day. But let me speak to you not as a doctor throwing warnings, but as someone who has held the hands of patients who didn't know the quiet damage their daily beer was doing to their heart. Beer is deceptive. It doesn't hit like hard liquor, and it doesn't carry the elegance of wine, but inside every can or bottle lies a dangerous mix for an aging heart. As we age, our metabolism slows. The sugars and starches in beer are quickly converted to belly fat. And that's not just a cosmetic concern. Belly fat, especially visceral fat, surrounds your internal organs and pumps out chemicals that inflame your blood vessels, raise blood pressure, and clog arteries from the inside out. Many of my older patients don't drink to get drunk. They drink to unwind. A beer with dinner, another while watching the news. But even 2 beers a day can silently lead to hypertension, irregular heart rhythms, and over time, a weakened heart that can no longer keep up. I've seen it happen, slowly, then suddenly. What's more, beer often replaces water, and that matters. Seniors are more prone to dehydration, and beer only worsens it. Dehydrated blood is thick, harder to pump, and more likely to form clots. So while beer may feel light, its impact on your heart is anything but. I'm not here to judge your habits. I'm here to remind you how precious each heartbeat truly is. One change, like replacing your evening beer with a tall glass of water or herbal tea, could give your heart the relief it's been quietly craving. But if you think beer is the only sweet-tasting danger in your glass, think again. Because the next drink on our list is dressed in sugar and served with a smile: the cocktail. 3. Cocktails. Sweet on the outside, dangerous at the core. There's something almost celebratory about a cocktail. It's colorful, festive, and often served with a smile. For many seniors, a well-made cocktail feels like a reward, a small luxury, a way to relax or reminisce. But beneath the sweetness, the tiny umbrella, and the fancy glass lies a truth we don't talk about enough. Cocktails are one of the most deceptive threats to your heart after 60. You see, cocktails are often loaded with more than just alcohol. They contain syrups, cream, flavored liqueurs, and sugar. So much sugar. That sweetness, combined with the alcohol, becomes a dangerous mix, especially for older bodies. As we age, our pancreas doesn't regulate blood sugar as well, our arteries stiffen, and our heart becomes more vulnerable to inflammation. Every sugary sip contributes to insulin resistance, weight gain, and dangerously high triglycerides, all enemies of the aging heart. Worse yet, the sweetness masks the strength of the alcohol. It's easy to lose track of how much you've consumed, especially at social gatherings or quiet evenings. And because cocktails don't taste like typical alcohol, they can be more inviting, even addictive. I've seen seniors who never touched whiskey become regular cocktail drinkers, never realizing the silent toll it was taking on their blood pressure and their heartbeat. Even just a few cocktails a week can trigger or worsen arrhythmias, especially atrial fibrillation, which increases stroke risk significantly. It doesn't happen all at once, it builds, quietly, invisibly, until one night your heart skips a beat and doesn't recover. I'm not asking you to abandon joy. I'm inviting you to protect the heart that has carried your memories, your laughter, and your strength through every season of your life. There are other ways to celebrate, ways that don't cost your heart its future. But if you think cocktails are where the risk ends, think again. Because the next drink is quiet, clear, and far stronger than it looks: the hard liquor in your glass. 4. Hard liquor. Whiskey, vodka, brandy. There's a kind of quiet strength in hard liquor. It's straightforward, no sugar coating, no fluff, just a glass of whiskey, a splash of vodka, a sip of brandy to take the edge off. For many older adults, it's a ritual, a symbol of resilience, or even a way to reconnect with memories of younger days. But with age, your heart becomes less tolerant of what your body once could manage. That glass, small as it may seem, carries far more weight now, and not just in alcohol content. Hard liquor hits fast and hard. It causes blood vessels to constrict rapidly, leading to sudden spikes in blood pressure, dangerous at any age, but especially after 60 when arteries are less flexible and the heart is already working harder. I've seen patients experience chest pain, dizziness, even mini strokes, all triggered by what they thought was a harmless nightcap. The damage isn't always immediate, but it's cumulative, wearing down your heart's rhythm, strength, and stability over time. What's most concerning is that these drinks are often consumed alone, a quiet sip before bed, to ease the mind, to soften the silence. But that silence hides the strain placed on your cardiovascular system. Your liver takes longer to process the alcohol, and during that time, your heart is under pressure. It beats harder, it beats irregularly, and you feel it less until something goes very wrong. And if you're on medication, blood pressure pills, diabetes meds, or cholesterol drugs, hard liquor can interact with them in ways that are unpredictable and dangerous. It's not about how much you drink, but how your body handles it now, in this stage of life. And the truth is, it doesn't handle it well anymore. So before you pour your next glass, ask yourself, is this helping me feel stronger or just helping me forget I'm feeling weak? There's another habit many turn to when seeking rest, and it's one that quietly steals health in the name of sleep. Let's talk about alcohol as a sleep aid and why it's more harmful than healing. 5. Drinking to sleep, a quiet habit that steals your rest. For many older adults, sleep becomes elusive with age. Nights grow longer, thoughts grow louder, and the silence of the evening can feel heavy. In that quiet, a small glass of wine, a shot of whiskey, or a mixed drink before bed can feel like comfort, like a gentle bridge to sleep. I've had patients tell me, it's the only thing that helps me drift off. And I believe them. But what they don't realize is that this habit is robbing their heart, night after night. Alcohol may make you drowsy at first, but it disrupts the very rhythms your body relies on to truly rest and heal. It interferes with REM sleep, the deep restorative phase that repairs the heart and balances blood pressure. Instead of resting, your heart is working overtime while you sleep. Your breathing becomes uneven. Your blood pressure can surge. You wake feeling groggy, anxious, or with a racing heartbeat. And most people never connect those symptoms to the drink they had the night before. Worse, alcohol as a sleep aid can quickly become a dependency. What starts as an occasional nightcap turns into a nightly ritual, and your body builds tolerance, needing more to get the same effect, while your heart becomes more vulnerable with each sip. The irony is painful. The very habit meant to bring peace becomes a hidden source of harm. I've seen patients living alone, battling loneliness, who use alcohol not just for sleep but for silence. But there are other ways to ease into night, ways that support the heart: soft music, gentle breathing, herbal teas, or even just the simple ritual of dimming lights and turning off screens early. You deserve rest, true, healing rest. And your heart, the engine of your life, deserves a chance to recover fully each night. But if you think nighttime is the only moment alcohol is doing damage, wait until you see how it shows up in the daylight, in the form of high blood pressure you don't even feel. 6. What I see every day and what you can do today. As a heart doctor, I've seen the same story unfold far too often. Different faces, different lives, but the same painful ending. Seniors come into my clinic looking healthy on the outside. They smile, crack jokes, talk about their families. Some still walk every morning, eat their vegetables, and never miss a checkup. But then the tests come in, and I see what they can't: a heart under stress, blood vessels inflamed, silent damage accumulating from habits they never thought could harm them, especially alcohol. I've held hands in emergency rooms, spoken to sons and daughters who never saw it coming. Sometimes the patient feels completely fine until the day they're not. That's what makes alcohol so dangerous at this stage of life. The damage is quiet, invisible, and gradual. It doesn't announce itself until it's too late. A stroke, a heart attack, a heart that simply can't keep up anymore. And yet, the beauty of the human body, especially after 60, is that it's still capable of healing. It doesn't need you to be perfect. It just needs you to pay attention. One small change today can ripple into years of better health, stronger energy, and deeper peace of mind. Whether it's skipping that drink tonight, checking your blood pressure more often, or talking honestly with your doctor about your habits, it matters. There are also tools designed just for you. Apps that track your meals, gently remind you to take your medication, or suggest better choices without judgment. They're not about control, they're about giving your heart a fighting chance and your future more time. So the question isn't, is it too late for me? The real question is, am I ready to begin? And if you've made it this far with me, if something in your heart is stirring, then maybe, just maybe, you're already on your way. Because now comes the most important part of all. Not just what you avoid, but what you choose to protect. Let's talk about what your heart has been asking for all along. What if your heart has been asking for help all along, and now finally you're ready to listen? Your heart deserves better. You've carried so much in life: family, work, responsibilities, joys, and losses. Through it all, your heart has beaten faithfully without asking for anything in return. But now, after 60, it's asking for something: your awareness, your care, your intention. The drinks that once felt harmless, social, or comforting may no longer serve you. And in truth, they may be quietly hurting the very organ that's helped you live all these years. But here's the most important thing: it's never too late to choose differently. Every small decision, skipping that glass tonight, drinking water instead, asking a question at your next doctor visit, adds up. Your heart doesn't need perfection. It needs consistency. It needs kindness. This isn't about giving things up. It's about gaining more time, more mornings, more laughter, more strength. It's about being here, fully, vibrantly, and with a heart that's not just beating, but thriving. So today, choose one change, just one. Your future self will thank you. Your family will thank you. And most of all, your heart will know it wasn't forgotten. These lessons are meant to inspire you to live fully and authentically. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Take a moment to reflect and share one thing you've learned and plan to apply in your own life. Let's support each other on this journey toward embracing these truths. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a comment with 1. If not, feel free to comment with 0. Your feedback means a lot to us. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more content like this. Thank you for watching, and here's to living life on your own terms.